To some, it may come as no surprise that Justice Raymond Zondo has been appointed as the highest judge in the land. Some experts say the writing was on the wall. Last month, when engaging journalists in Cape Town, President Cyril Ramaphosa said that he was surprised that the Judicial Service Commission had recommended its candidates and that the prerogative lies with him to appoint the top judge.
The newly appointed was really underwhelming during the interview, but he also brings a lot of experience on the bench. He's actually the longest serving judge in the Constitutional Court. And that's one thing that the president would have looked into. He would also have looked at the fact that he only has a few years to go, only 2 years. So if there was an error on his part, it is a manageable error, then there'll be the next person. But he has also tried to make sure that he offends less people by making sure that the recommendation from the JSC is not ignored. Hence his decision to also say, I'm going to have also Justice Maya to become the deputy.
Some were taken aback by President Ramaphosa's decision, as the JSC had recommended that Supreme Court of Appeal Judge President Mandisa Maya take over as Chief Justice. There were also resounding calls for history to be made by appointing a female as the country's first top judge. Whilst this has not happened, President Ramaphosa has nominated Justice Maya to fill in the position of Deputy Chief Justice.
It will be a surprise because of the recommendation of the JSC. I mean, the JSC recommended Justice Maya, but the President does have the final say, and the JSC make recommendations, so it's still up to the President to make the decisions. I think this is one of the most important decisions, really, from a democracy point of view, strengthening a democracy point of view, from strengthening the judiciary point of view. And I think Justice Zondo really has personified, the fight against corruption.
Justice Zondo is the longest-serving judge at the Apex Court and has 25 years of experience. But some eyebrows were raised over the short tenure he will serve as Chief Justice.
Well, we were surprised, firstly, by the fact that someone who only has 2 years remaining on the job would be considered over those who could spend a longer period in the time. Our chief concern really was on some of the issues that the judiciary is currently facing requires a long-term vision and requires someone who would have enough time to execute that vision.
Moving forward, there have been mounting calls for the JSC process to improve and reduce the influence of political parties in the appointment of the country's top judges. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, the announcement of the country's new Chief Justice has been met with mixed reaction.
With regards to the appointment of Deputy Chief Justice Zondo into being Chief Justice, I was a bit shocked when I saw it, obviously, because we are at the point whereby we are still speaking about the empowerment of women. And when it comes to qualifications, merits, Justice Maya is qualified as well. I believe she also holds an LLD, which then shows how much she is also qualified. She does have the merits, she does have the qualifications. So I don't see anything that will impede on her being a proper Chief Justice.
I think it's a great decision because he's highly qualified and experienced as well.
The appointment of Chief Justice Zondo, I think, is politically motivated because he affiliates himself with the campaign of CR17, and I partially watched the interviews. And I think Mandisa Maya is the person who deserves that position, very clear.
I think Mandisa Maya was the perfect person for the position, but this country is women are not given the same opportunities as men. So I think we still have a long way to go. But finally, joining at the side of women, give them a chance. Maybe they can make a difference, a better one, actually.